Dock area at 6501 Eastern Avenue at the corner of Eastern and Kane, right across the street from the Home Depot. It is the Broadway Diner. And as you know, diner food is becoming more and more popular again in the United States as we go back to our roots, but we're bringing in other things with it as well. And today I'm going to talk to the owner. This is George Kavarakis. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah, you did pronounce it right. Kavarakis.
Okay. And he built and opened the diner 2 years ago, George?
Right.
It's really nice. It's a large diner too. And we were going over the menu here a little bit ago, but before we get into that, find out a little bit about you. You came to the United States in 1967 from Greece?
1967, yeah, from Greece, Rhodes Island, yes.
From the island of Rhodes. And you began in 1971 in Manhattan.
Yeah, I started dishwashing for a couple of years, and then along the line, and then that's why I opened my first diner in Manhattan, between Park and Madison on 41st Street, and I opened the coffee shop that was 5 days only a week, 7 to 3, and then closed down. That was easy fast money. So I used to call it coffee shops.
Coffee shops, yeah. Right. Back in those days, in '71, I remember them well. Did you move then to the Rockville area, or?
Yes, we first opened the Broadway Diner in Rockville. That's where I moved in Rockville first. And I stayed there for 4 years, and after 2 years ago we started this one over here from the ground up. We built it, and now I'm here.
You run this with your son, right?
My nephew.
Your nephew.
This is my nephew, and my wife, of course.
Mm-hmm. How many employees do you have here?
We can go about 30 to 35 employees altogether,
wow.
Part-time and full-time. You know what I mean?
How long you open a day?
24/7.
24/7.
We throw the kids away.
Diner hours. Of course. Is there any busier time of the day than others?
Every day, yeah. It's every day is busy now, except the weekend, of course. The diners always in every restaurant. Saturdays and Sundays is our more busiest day.
Mm-hmm.
Like we get packed full and people waiting on the line and all these kind of things.
I was looking at your menu. Now we have all the diner type of food, the breakfast foods, the typical breakfast foods, and the comfort foods, as we like to call them, right? And you have brought in a few extra things, like I noticed you had a few Greek dishes, and is there any particular part of the menu that people like the best, or do they buy everything?
Oh, actually, from the regular menu, people, of course, we sell a lot of hamburgers. This is America, you know what I mean? The hamburgers is the number one, and then comes the chicken. We sell anything with chicken grill or whatever, salads and things like that. That's the two items that, they sell the most. But also we sell a lot of salads, like a diner all these years, the chicken salad, the egg salads, all these kind of things. Now going for other little bit upscale, it's like we'll make a little bit gourmet salads. Years back we have only one kind of lettuce, the iceberg lettuce. Now we got all kinds of lettuce because we create more salads and things like that, you know what I mean? So we update a little bit more, like diners. Mm-hmm. Years back it was only 5 things in the menu, but now you can see that we have a lot of things.
The menu is 8 pages long.
Yeah, and people, like everything almost, like, a lot of people that come for salads.
Well, this is being Baltimore, this is a seafood town. I notice you have at least 1 page of seafood there.
I got one, yes. Well, of course, the crab meat is the number one thing in Baltimore,
right,
so everybody judge you from that. You know what I mean?
Baltimore, you gotta have a crab cake that people like.
And,
people like your crab cakes?
And they do. I heard a lot of compliments, you know what I mean, on my crab meat, and I just keep it like that the way it is, you know what I mean, because once you hear compliments, you just leave it like that. My seafoods, I get fresh fish, you know what I mean, from New York, and everything is water and fresh right there, and you know what I mean. Or if you're gonna order sautés, or if you're gonna order from the broil, everything is water. That's everything. Just a few things like we make goulashes or things like that that we, you have to cook it over a long time and things. But everything else It's water fresh.
Do you use a lot of herbs and things that you don't?
Yeah.
I think I noticed it looked like you used herbs and things that you typically don't find in a diner.
I use fresh herbs. I use the fresh basil, the fresh oregano, thyme, all these things I'm using the fresh ones. You know what I mean? And I do my with fresh herbs and things like that. A lot of my things, like my chicken, the grilled chickens, always stays marinated with, with all these kind of herbs and things like that. Yes, we do.
Well, obviously, folks, if you haven't realized that he's not only the owner, he is the chef, the head chef, and he is the pastry chef. And we will be back in a few minutes and we will talk to him about that. We're back here at the top of the morning on the road at the Broadway Diner at Eastern and Kane. And we're talking to George Kavarakis. And George, I asked you to bring me out a little sample of something. Oh my word. This salad looks fantastic. Salmon.
This is what we call it exotic salad. That
Exotic
it can come
salad?
with salmon, it can come with chicken. It has the mangoes, it has strawberries, it has feta cheese.
But that's salmon,
and,
right?
Yeah, and those masculine lettuce, the mixed greens.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
we sell a lot of those.
And I was telling George that I gauge diners by four things. One is their coffee. I haven't tried that yet. Their meatloaf, the calamari, and the carrot cake. And carrot cake's coming. Anyway, this is we're going to take a little bit of a break, and I'm going to try this, and then we'll be back and talk about it in just a minute. We are back, and I've got some news for you. I was just telling George, oh, by the way, it's top of the morning, I'm Chuck, and we're back. I see, this is how I'm flustered from eating this food. I was telling George before, I'm always afraid to go out to diners because diner food has a reputation, and I'm one of the people that don't particularly like most diner food. I have a surprise for you. Two of the dishes I talked about before that I test diner food on: meatloaf with gravy and mashed potatoes, calamari with a marinara sauce. Well, you can try other sauce marinara, but he happens to have a marinara sauce here. I've got to tell you, this is one of the best meatloafs I've ever had. Okay, and we were discussing it before. He even puts heavy cream in it to keep the moisture content high, because meatloaf can dry out really quickly. And the potatoes are fresh made potatoes. No box stuff, no dehydrated, no nothing. And the gravy is simply marvelous. The calamari, I was a little disappointed because they don't have tentacles in it. But Baltimore, he said, but people in Baltimore don't like tentacles, right?
I started with tentacles and everything like that, and everybody was trying to say, don't tentacles, give me that. So I stopped by, only two.
They don't know what they're missing.
Yeah, I know. I love them. I love the tentacles.
They're the best part of the calamari.
Yes.
But the calamari is, I'm going to show you this, the calamari, the big rings, it's cooked perfectly. It not chewy, it melt in your mouth. And the marinara sauce is very special. It's not highly spicy or anything like that.
Right.
It's a mild marinara sauce, but it's very creamy. It's pureed very nicely. Then George said I had to try the exotic salad. My word, he was absolutely right. This particular, you say this comes with either salmon or chicken.
Right.
And you have either salmon or chicken with it. This particular one is a grilled salmon, and you have mesclun and tomatoes and strawberries, and a most wonderful, and what kind of cheese?
Mangoes, feta cheese.
Feta cheese and mangoes. And what kind of feta cheese is it?
That is a Greek feta cheese.
Greek feta cheese,
Yeah,
okay.
Greek feta cheese.
And the strawberries, you might say, why the strawberries in a salad? Believe me, you put his beautiful, wonderful balsamic vinegar on top of this, and it is heaven. Now we have a fourth dish we tried. I didn't try it because I'm allergic to crab, but it looks so good. It is a crab cake that should set every heart in Baltimore aflutter. I see no fillers in it. Our producer tried it and said it was wonderful. And I'll have to take his word for it, but it looks great here. It's the crispy fried on top just perfectly as I know crab cake should be.
Right.
George, I got to tell you, I am pleasantly surprised, and I'm so glad I don't have to act here. What motivated you to come up with this type of menu?
But like I said, you always have to operate and create some kind of new things.
Or you're always
all
adding
your
new
combinations.
things?
Yeah, all your you know what I mean. When you have all these kind of restaurants, you know what I mean, they put all new dishes and everything like that. So diners too, they have to create some kind of new things and put new things in them. Just not only meatloaf and
Right.
things, and you know what I mean. I always create some kind of new stuff every time, like every 5 or 6 months. I was gonna put something new. You know, I'm creating new things.
How,
You know what I mean?
how, as for instance, this exotic salad, how's it going over in Baltimore? Do
It
people-
goes good. People eat this salad, and I have other salads too that they do try and they love it. I have like my barbecue salad, they love it. You know, I got my organic salad that they love it too. It comes with portabella mushrooms, grilled portabella mushrooms, capers, and all kind of things like that. It tastes very good. Everybody loves it. You know, I mean, all my salads.
Well, this, anybody on a diet or anything else, this would be perfect for it.
Over there, this is good
Because
Yes,
there's
this is
almost very few carbs in there. You have a few carbs in the mangoes, and that's about it.
Yep.
And that's basically protein and vegetables. Fantastic. And the crab cake the same way. There's very, very little filler in there, so we can do it. This is carbs, but this is American comfort.
Now
food.
this is American
We
comfort.
can't get
right,
around
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Anyway,
That will never go from the menu.
no,
no
you
matter
can't.
what.
You take this off the menu, the Americans.
It's not a diner no more.
It's not a diner without this. This is not necessarily on diner, but most diners have crispy calamari.
Right.
But you have to have the meatloaf and mashed potatoes, and George's is great, folks. I can't say too much about it. I am just so pleasantly and pleased. You have no idea. And we come back, we're going to see the Feast of la Resistance of all of it. George is a pastry chef, and we're going to see his pastries. I can't wait. We'll be right back. Whoa, we're back. Top of the morning on the road, folks. I don't have the words. I was told when I came over here, George. Well, by the way, tell everybody again in case you just tuned in. We're at the Broadway Diner at Eastern and Kane, and talking to George Kavarakis. And I was told when I came over here that the big deal at your diner was your pastries. I said, you know, I've heard this before. And I got to tell you, unbelievable, folks, unbelievable. This carrot cake is so moist. It's like, it's not wet, but it is so moist that it's just so delicious. And the tiramisu is to die for. You said this is what you sell the most of, is tiramisu.
I just sell a lot of those.
Cheesecake is, again, you know how cheesecake can dry out and get flaky and some people like that. I mean, it all depends on what you put on top of it. But don't worry about that, folks. This thing, you don't need anything. It is just so rich and so much. And the thing that blew me away, I got to tell you about this one. I cut into the Bavarian cream torte with the
fruit toppings.
fruit toppings. The dough, the cookie dough bottom of it is so rich. And I said, did you use butter in that? He said, that's all I use is butter.
Yeah.
That's all I use. But it is, folks, you just don't know. we cut open, if you can see it down here, we cut open the double chocolate.
Yes.
Double chocolate.
Oh, this one over here?
You're right.
Yes, that's the brownie.
Brownie surprise.
Yes.
It has a peach compote in the center. And there's no way I can describe to you what it tastes like. And of course, by the way, there's a little bite out of everything here. The strawberry double chocolate mousse is heavenly, absolutely heavenly. And as you can see, George is really big on presentation. And I got to tell you, George, I am so happy you came to Baltimore, and you will be seeing me more. I got to bring, and if I like a restaurant, believe me, people follow around. And my mouth is so big, I talk about everything. And obviously, I like food, as anyone can see.
Right.
Anyway, do you want to tell us any more about your pastries? Where did you get your training in pastries?
As a little kid, I started in Greece, and then when I came to this country, I started with a German guy, and then started with a Greek pastry chef and Italian pastry chef, and then I opened my own bakery shop in the Bronx for 9 years, and that's where I got a lot of experience.
Oh yeah, it shows, because I mean, I have been in places. Now most places import this stuff. I mean, they have somebody else bake it and they bring it in, but you make it fresh.
Like
fresh all the time, or are you baking every day?
Every day we bake.
It has to be. There's no way in the world this is more than a couple hours old. It's just no way.
Right.
When we come back, I have another surprise, sort of, that we're going to talk to George about. And I told George that we had to start talking while I still had this. Well, I won't say the word I used, but I have this glow, this afterglow, almost like you know what, and it's amazing. We'll be right back. On the road at a great diner, Broadway diner at Eastern and Kane here. This is George Kavarakis and his son Jonathan, his nephew Jonathan. And we'll talk about Jonathan in just a second. I was talking to George here during the break about something I want to come back to. You obviously can't be here 24 hours a day,
right.
So you are training people to do certain jobs.
Right.
And tell me a little more about that.
Well, training them to do the right thing and everything, you know what I mean? This way I can go home and sleep. That's all I need. My 8 hours sleep and then come back again. Those 8 hours, I want everything to be nice and perfect.
You mean you don't want to work more than 16 hours a day?
No. Sometimes I do more than 16 hours. I want to go to sleep because, like we said, it's 24 hours.
Right.
And I cannot be here 24 hours. So that's why I'm training him to. He's my nephew.
I
know he's going to be watching a little bit for me and everything like that. So at least I have some kind of trust. Yeah. Not that I'm not trusting my guys inside. Right. I do trust them.
Oh yeah, well that's it.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan is going to be taking over here to Broadway Diner at least part of the time in the future. Maybe more if George wants to spend some time. What I wanted to ask you, I was thinking about it before, do you do the shopping for the...
Everything, yes. We buy from...
you personally. I yes. See your touch and everything, so I assume you go out and buy the products you need.
Yes, I do go out and buy it, but we do have the... I can buy from Cisco a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? We buy from the bakery, the baked goods from bakery, buy the produce, we have, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So first I'm going to look my inventory and then I make a phone call, so when they come over here, then I give the orders, whatever.
But they know what you want.
Of course they know.
There's no way in the world that you order those strawberries. I mean, it's
ask him. When I go crazy, when something is wrong, he's coming and go crazy. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what it is because you care.
Yes.
And you can absolutely see with everything we've seen today that you honestly do care. And Jonathan is being trained to care and to take care of all of this. Are you excited about it?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I hear an accent there. It's
I am from New Jersey.
from Jersey.
I'm a Jersey boy.
A Jersey boy.
Jersey boy.
Jersey boy.
Born and raised.
Born and raised, you're 22 and getting a nice start quickly in life here.
Yeah, I love it here. I grew up in the diner business. My father's a baker. My uncle's been a baker, chef, owned restaurants. So
And who teach your father?
my uncle taught my father. So I grew up in the business. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. And
Yeah, now obviously
we're
you
better
like
to
it.
learn than with your family, especially when you have an uncle
I'll tell you what, you
who's
have
so
a-
talented.
I was going to say you have a great teacher, and if you stick and listen to this guy, you probably have a great future too.
Right, I thought of that.
Hey, good food is always sellable.
Yeah.
Bad food you can't give it. Well, some places people sell bad food, but bad food, there's too much of it around. We need more quality food, and I am so happy. As I said, I have never been real thrilled about diner food before, but you've broken my feelings about this, and
You know what diner means? Diner means we're here for you 24 hours. And anytime you can have breakfast, and anytime you can have dinner, and anytime you can have dessert, and anytime you can have anything you want. That's what diner is.
But that's great. But you don't always want a hamburger. You don't always want meatloaf. You don't always want. And my word, I can see stopping by just for the desserts.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you both, George. Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you. I appreciate
Jonathan,
it.
Thank you.
good
so
luck.
much. Thank you.
Well, folks, we had a great time here at the Broadway Diner, Eastern and Kane Street, 6501 Eastern Avenue. It's only 2 years old, but the food is like hundreds of years of experience. Believe me, I know food, as you can well see. And I had a great time. And till the next time,